In October of 2006, Midway created Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Along with it, they created a fantastic idea that was horribly executed. So, what if? What if NetherRealm Studios tried that create a combatant again? But before we jump into that, what did they do wrong? What made it so blah? It was a fail-proof plan, a secure idea. So, how the fuck did it fail? Well, on top of the game itself feeling very generic, rushed, and lacking, the create a combatant was all that and a bag of chips. Just a big bag of rotting chips that had hot diarrhea from a dog that drank motor oil shat all over it. Everything felt like it was plastic. Their faces were just stuck on. They looked like action figures. Just toys. Their hair was just a basic mixture of all the styles that you saw during that time period. Dragon Ball, Street Fighter, Final Fantasy, and of course, Bruce Lee. And what the hell were with those bodies? The male body looked like a Ken doll on steroids. Female body doesn't look good either. Then, you get into the clothing. Oh, God.
Jesus Christ, you gotta understand this was during the PS2 era.
I understand. I get it. But when you have games from PS1 that looked better than this game, there's no excuse. And on top of that, there were objects in the clothing section that allowed you to change the appendages into a Tarkatan or a Shokan. Cool, right? No, it wasn't. It was purely aesthetic. That's it. You looked the part. You weren't the part. Welcome to Halloween 1.0. That's it. There were fucking masks and gloves. Awesome. I can't hit this hard enough. Again, everything felt like plastic, half-assed, rushed, and just, well, yeah. So, I understand why NetherRealm Studios wouldn't want to attempt it again. Their first attempt was so bad that if they failed again, it would take away from the beautiful spectacle that the game has turned into today. But what if? What if they did try? What would they have to do? Well, I don't know what they would do, but in this video I'll go through what I would do in their shoes. Now, I feel like I should stress the fact that I am not a game developer. I don't know if anything that I'm saying would actually be feasible. But, if it is possible, this is what I would do if I was a game developer. You get it. And, on second, I'll be using other games as references, showing what I would adopt in order to make the character builder something beautiful. First is your body select. You get to choose between one of two genders. Simple enough. But it's after this that the magic really begins. So after you choose your gender, you now get to choose your race. And I'm not talking about human races like black or Hispanic. Nope. You can do that with the body editor, changing the color of the skin. I'm talking about the MK races. Cryomancer, Cyborg, Demon, Dragon, Shokan, Tarkatan, Vampire, Clone. The list goes on and on. And, unlike Armageddon, they would not just be aesthetic. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, grab your Tarkatan blade arms. Nothing kills your enemies faster than Tarkatan blade arms. Stab your foes, chop their heads off, or even just remove their arms. Brought to you by the Council of Finish Him. That's right, finish him. Make sure that your enemies realize that you were serious by ripping out their spine. Choosing a race will give you different perks to speed, strength, dexterity, vitality. You know, the really important stuff. This is all really important because every race will have their own strengths and weaknesses. It's up to you to decide which one you feel more comfortable with in the long run. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So, let's go on. The hair. You would be able to choose from a large selection of ready-made hairstyles. Obviously. But I think it would also be cool if you could customize some of your own hairstyles as well. For this, let's take a look at Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Now, this game, in my opinion, was horrible. But customization of the hairstyles was kind of cool. Now, the head was sectioned off in different areas, and allowed you to attach hair fragments to it. Super ridiculous anime bangs that come out about a mile from your forehead and then hang out in front of your face so you can't see anything. Spiky hair, long hair, short hair. It was incredible. There were a lot of awesome little features that you can add into your character. But that was the best part about the game. So here you are. You've chosen your gender, your hair, your race. Now it's time to start messing with the body and face. And this is where I can lose myself for hours, and I'm not joking. I love messing with the numbers and angles. Being able to create who I want, when I want. It's fascinating to me. Now for this example, we're going to take a look at Black Desert Online. This is pretty much the perfect example that I was looking at. I was originally going to choose one of the wrestling games for their create a character aspect. However, I feel like this has just a slightly better mechanic. You see, in Black Desert Online, after you choose your class, you get to adjust the body almost freely. You see, different parts of the body are sectioned off and glow, allowing for simplistic and free customization. The WWE games also do this, but Black Desert just did it slightly better. So, let's adopt it. After you choose your gender and race, you would see their body covered in spots all over it. They could be dots or glowing sections, it really doesn't matter, just something to help you visualize where and what you are doing. These would be the sections that you could select and adjust, allowing you to get the finest in detail with how your body looks. Hell, there can even be a body fat to muscle chart getting you really in depth. The idea here is that it gives you a lot of options to be able to really make who you want. Extend their torso, beef up their legs, or just give them a big butt. Hashtag jiggly butt. Now that you have your body the way you want it to look, you can also add things like tattoos, scars, or blemishes to your guy's body. This will really bump up the detail of your character, really hitting home who you're trying to build. Now the next thing in line would be clothing. Gotta pimp out those threads. Can't have your fighter fighting naked, right? Right? This is where your basic template of your clothing will be. Underwear, shirts, pants, gloves, shoes, socks, hats, accessories. This is the place where you're going to fully customize your character's look. Now, obviously, they're going to be pre-made, ready-to-go outfits. You know, in case you lack inspiration. But for the most part, the look and color will be completely up to you. Now, for this section, I think I might borrow a little bit from Soul Calibur's Create a Character. Now, I haven't been a fan of the game as of late. But the thing that Soul Calibur had that I really liked was the Create a Character mode. So for this section, we're only going to be looking at the clothing part of the customization settings. So if you take a look, you can see that there are multiple layers that you can alter. Headgear, masks, neck gear, shoulders, arms, gloves, torsos, belts, legs, shins, feet, and accessory slots. Then you're adding accessories to your character. This is where you add all the objects that aren't going to be accessible during combat. Things like swords, guns, or some other props like shapes and trinkets in order to further customize your character and really hit home who you're trying to build. There would also be pre-made, ready-to-go sets of outfits for a template if you lack inspiration, like a maid or a pirate. And each piece of clothing should be able to be customized as well by changing its color, texture, and possibly even size. This would give longevity to each piece, making it less likely for you to bump into a character playing online who is wearing the same exact thing as you. This will help your guy feel special and unique, giving your guy the one-of-a-kind feeling. We can even go further in depth and allow them to make their own props with a prop editor that would utilize all the generic shapes available to them in the game. That prop then would be compressed down to a singular object, saving on memory. You know, within reason.
So then what?
We chose a gender, a race, found or made awesome hairstyles, and decked the guy out with new threads, man. So what's next? But obviously their attitude. One of my favorite things about the new Mortal Kombat game is the interactions between all the characters. I laughed my ass off. Johnny Cage telling Alien,
"You know your head looks like a dildo,"
made me crack up laughing to the point where my sides hurt. You see, it was interactions like this that were really important because they felt natural, and that's what you need. Natural. So, let's take a look into this. First off, you'd have to choose the type of attitude your character is going to be portraying. This would open up a large repertoire of dialogue that your character would be saying in response to being spoken to or starting a conversation. Being respectable or an asshole would be completely up to you. And then after that, you could actually change the voice around a little bit, changing the bass, tone, the mids, or pitch to make it deeper, squeakier, or bitchier. Do whatever you want. It's completely up to you. Alright, so now we've got a whole boatload of shit that we've done, right? The last thing was we added the voice. What's next? Well, what is your guy going to be in T-pose the entire time? No, of course not. We need to add mannerisms. This is where you would see how your character would enter the screen, their winning or losing action during a round, how their stance is during combat, and their winning animation for beating the opponent. All of this will help amplify your character's attitude and behavior. So, what's next? Well, we've gone over a lot of how the guy would look. How would they fight? Well, even though I'm not a big fan of the game, I do have to say that the mechanics of it are fantastic. So, let's go back to tech and adopt another idea from the combat section. As much as I'd like the idea of being able to build my own combos, I honestly believe that it wouldn't come out clean. So, what if we had pre-made, ready-to-go combos, with a button sequence already added to them? So to start, there would be a list of generic combos, representing different styles of fighting that are ready for you when you first create your character. Obviously, some combos wouldn't be working for you because of the specific races or whatnot, but for the most part, they would all be available to you right from the start. But those are generic combos. What about some of the combos the other combatants already have, such as Sonya or Johnny Cage? Those would be unlockable as you progress through the game. This same system would be implemented for grapples and special moves. Each combo would have a different rating, from 1 to 5, 1 being the easiest type of combo, and 5 being extremely difficult. The more difficult the combo, the more damage it'll do. After that, it's X-rays! Now we can look at a WWE game for this one, where you could actually build your own finisher. There would be already pre-made X-rays ready to go. But you'd also be able to build one to your own specifications. There would be 3 sections to look at, so let's take a peek. It would start off with saying, where do you want to start your X-ray at? There's up in the sky by jumping, standing, just activating the X-ray, or countering, waiting for the character to actually attack you first. Each one will be a different requirement to activate the move. Next, you choose an animation to start off the X-ray. Lastly, an animation to finish off the X-ray. Now keep in mind, depending on the race would depend upon if some of the moves are accessible to you or not. But again, just like everything else, there will be an onslaught of moves available to you that is also unlockable as you progress.
So now here you are. You built your guy,
And you are ready to kick ass and take names, right? Fuck no! What is Mortal Kombat famous for? What is it famous for? Murder! That's right. Last but not least, selecting a fatality from a large selection of fatalities. Again, certain ones won't be available to everybody, but there is a large selection, from past to present. Okay. Now, we are done. All you need to do is name your little baby and a quick bio. We're all set. We spent all this time building a combatant. Now it's time to bring your baby around the world and pit your skills against everybody else across the interwebs. Now you can earn points in order to buy clothing, combos, and moves that are locked. Earn points and reputation as you progress and murder your foes. And that's it! That's what I would do in their shoes. I know it's not perfect, but it's a good starting point. But this isn't the end. Why don't you tell me your ideas down below in the comment section? Could you also hit that subscribe and like button while you're at it? And also, if you can, share this with other people. The more times you share this, the more time I'll have making these videos. At any rate, I'm J-Bars. Remember to keep that mug frosty, and always be safe. Catch you around.